Good morning, my dear student. Today we discuss the latch-up problems, which are major concern in CMOS or VLSI technology. Now we start from the introduction like this. Latch-up is a potentially potent source of a failure in the qualification and flow at IC manufacturers and the customer application. It is also a malfunction of the integrated circuit, generally a shorting of power supply to ground. Signal latch-up is also a malfunction of the integrated circuit. However, a shorting of the signal to ground as opposed to the traditional shorting of the power supply to the ground. To study of latch-up, physical origin, latch-up triggering, latch-up prevention, internal latch-up prevention techniques to continuously improve the quality and reliability of the product. Now we understand what is the latch-up. Latch-up is a condition where a low impedance path is created between supply pin and ground. This condition is caused by a trigger, a current injection or over voltage. But once activated, the low impedance path remains even after the trigger is no longer present. This low impedance path may cause some upset or extremely unfortunate catastrophic damage due to the excessive current levels. The CMOS by CMOS circuit use NMOS PMOS transistor to create the circuit function. In the design of the CMOS integrated circuit, the proximity of the PN junction that form the NMOS PMOS transistor create inherent parasitic transistors, resistors and diode. These parasitic structures create PNPN thyristors, also called silicon control rectifiers. Unwanted current levels can trigger PNPN thyristors and may cause latch-up. This, this cross section of a CMOS inverter. How we can check latch-up formation? Latch-up formation shown alongside is a CMOS transistor consists of an NMOS and PMOS device. Q1 and Q2 are parasitic transistor elements residing inside it. Q1 is a double emitter PNPN transistor whose base is formed by N-well substrate of PMOS and two emitters are formed by source and drain terminals of the PMOS and collector is formed by substrate P-type of NMOS. The reverse is true for Q2, means that Q2 now NPN transistor and Q1 is PNPN transistor. The two parasitic transistors form a positive feedback loop and is equivalent to an SCR. You can see in this figure number 7 and lateral NPN. Now, analysis of latch-up formation. Analysis SCR is triggered by an external disturbance. The collector current of both transistors consists of reverse leakage current, but if collector current of one of these is temporarily increased by disturbance, resulting positive feedback loop causes current perturbation to be multiplied by beta 1 and beta 2 as explained below. The disturbance may be a spike of input voltage on an input or output pin, means trigger pulses, leading to junctions breakdown and ionizing radiations. Because collector current of one transistor Q1 is fed as input base current to another transistor Q2, collector current of Q1 IC2 is equal to beta 1, beta 2 into I base current 2, and this collector current IC2 is fed as input base current IB1 to the another transistor Q1. In this way, both transistors feedback each other and the collector current of each goes on multiplying. Net gain of SCR device, all of you know that beta 1 into beta 2. right? Total current in one loop is equal to current perturbation into gain. If beta 1 into beta 2 is greater than 1, both transistors will conduct a high saturation current even after triggering perturbation is no longer available. This current will eventually become so large that it may damage the device. So we always try to maintain the beta 1 into beta 2 less than 1. Now, protection and prevention. The simplest way of preventing latch-up occurring is to adhere to the absolute maximum rating. But if this is not always possible, a diode connected in series with VDD prevents base current from flowing, thus avoiding SCR triggering and hence latch-up. A high resistance in the past so as to limit the current through supply and make beta 1 into beta 2 is less than 1. Surrounding PMOS NMOS transistor with an insulating oxide layer. Buried N, N plus in well reduced Q1 gain. Reduce R well and R substrate thereby producing lower V drop. Higher substrate dropping reducing R substrate. R reduce R well by making low R contact to ground. Use ESD protection circuit. Make sure power is off before switch on the CMOS board system. It is possible to design chip to be resistant to latch-up by adding a layer of insulating oxide that surrounds both the NMOS and the PMOS transistors. This breaks the parasitic silicon control rectifier structure between these transistors. Such parts are important in this case, where the proper sequencing of power and signals cannot be guaranteed, such as hot seat devices. Devices fabricated in lightly doped epitaxial layer grown on heavily doped substrate are also less susceptible to latch up. The heavily doped layer acts as a current sink where excess minority carriers can quickly recombine. Most silicon on insulated devices are inherently latch-up resistant. Latch-up is low resistance connections between tub and power supply rails. Also to avoid the latch, a separate tap connections is put for each transistor, but this will increase the size of device. So it gives a minimum space to put a tap. For example, 10 micrometer is 130 nanometer technology. The, this is the diagram for the highly doped structure. Highly doped substrate direct majority carriers to ground and reflects minority carriers, making the guard rings more effective. Even with these safeguards, there is a possibility of parasitic transistors in circuit that are not identified. These unidentified latch-up sources need to be identified. One way is a latch-up stress rest test. These are the, you can see this is the safeguard rings. So you can minimize by using the highly doped substrate, right? This is the latch-up testing method. Latch-up stress method prior to late 1980s were accomplished on bench setup with the use of curve tracer or other bench setups. In 1988, an industry team released the first latch-up standard JESD17. After that, JESD78 remains a standard mostly based on digital CMOS technology and test methods to measure the malfunctions, unwanted triggerings, voltage, unwanted malfunctions current, unwanted malfunctions voltage levels. That is the main function of the latch-up testing method. Thank you very much. I hope you will continue my next class. Thank you.